Good evening, everyone. We are reading from our usual book, Strength for the Day, and the title of our lesson is Solitude. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out, and stood in the entering in of the cave. And behold, there came a voice unto him. 1 Kings 19, verse 11 to 13. I can truly appreciate how Elijah felt on that faithful day when he had to run for his life from an angry woman. He must have felt elated after he had accomplished such a feat for the cause of God. He had all the prophets of Baal slain, but now his life was threatened. All alone, he felt forsaken by God and wanted to die. God saw him as he lay asleep under the juniper tree, and later manifested his presence to him in a still small voice. God comes to us in the silence of our thoughts. In the midst of our pain, he shows up, sometimes unexpectedly, but he is always there. It is in solitude where I find peace. It is in silence that I can steal away to Jesus and hold sweet communion with him. When we are alone, just the two of us, I experience true peace. I am comfortable enough to unveil myself, remove my pretenses, and be who I am. I confess my faults, those hidden, darling sins known only to him and me. I feel free to be myself, and so I tell him about my loneliness, my isolation, and my want to just be by myself in my little world. I let him come in, and I open up to him. He's such a wonderful friend. I know I can trust him. He will never disappoint me. No matter what I do that is contrary to his will, when I confess my sins, he will always say, I forgive you. He will never stop loving me. In solitude, we hear the voice of God more distinctly, just as Elijah did in 1 Kings 19. When we feel discouraged and depressed to the point of wanting to die, when we feel all alone, God will send his angel to encourage and strengthen us as he did with Elijah. Oh, how he renews us, picks us up, and sets us firmly on our feet. May the Lord help us, dear brothers and sisters, to stop, wait, and listen for his voice as he comes to rescue and restore us. Collis Salmon. I don't know about you, but I have been strengthened for the day and encouraged for the day. The title of our lesson today was Solitude, and our key text came from 1 Kings 19 verse 11 to 13, and essentially it reminds us of Elijah's experience as he listens out for the voice of God. He thinks that the voice of God would come through the wind. It didn't. Through an earthquake, it didn't. Through a fire that came, it did not. The voice of God came as a still, gentle, soft voice. And the author relays her own experience being similar to that of Elijah, where she finds that in silence, she's able to hear God clearly. She's able to be one with him and recognize what he has for her to do. She goes on to state that it's in those quiet, still moments that she's able to be her true, authentic self. And she goes into details about the relationship that she has with God, and that He is ultimately the best friend that she has ever had. She's able to be her true, authentic self with Him, and she doesn't hold back when she's with her Lord, communing with Him. And she recognizes that compared to her other friends, where they would judge her or they would be hesitant to forgive her if she wronged them, God is always receiving her with outstretched arms. And I believe that this author literally is talking about my own experience with God. When they say He sticketh closer than a brother, He does. Where family and friends will neglect you and will not have time for you, God always has time for you. I think He appreciates when we make the time for Him, because He's always there. And I told you time and time again in the past, Christ is like the perfect gentleman. If He is at the door, He's not barging in, He's knocking. He's waiting for you and I to open the door for Him to enter in. And He's always at the door waiting. He doesn't barge in, He doesn't force anything. It's for us to receive Him and to say, come in. You're welcome. You're welcome here. And as I get older, can you imagine? As I get older, I appreciate Him more and more for sticking through to the end with me. I may not be the most perfect person, but He loves me just the same. And He's never cast me to the side. Maybe my friends would, in a heartbeat, no matter how much they say they love me, if I step on their toes in a certain way, they're quick to drop me like a hot cake. But the author reminds me that God will never do it. He is a good, good Father. He knows His children. He knows our temperament. He knows our flaws. And He's willing to accept us once we're willing to confess our sins. And that gives us a sense of reassurance that even when all else fails, God will never fail, and He'll always be there for us. So I hope this has encouraged you today. I hope that in your season of isolation, depression, or just a time of deep reflection where things may not be going the way that you want it to go. Because if you think back on Elijah, he had such a mountaintop experience where he has defeated the prophets of Baal. And Jezebel, she has a bounty hunter on his case, literally coming after his head. And this Elijah, who has just had a triumphant experience, is now cowering in fear for his life. And I know that, myself included, I don't know about anyone else, but I have had a lot of mountaintop experiences. But as soon as you get those mountaintop experiences where you have overcome and God has brought you through, then there you go. There's a trial or tribulation that comes and it just knocks you off your balance. And you're wondering, is God going to come through? And He comes through again. And then you get another mountaintop experience and then you're back to square one. And it's just a hill and gully situation. But what we need to recognize is we may change in our faith and our belief system, but God never changes. He's always there for us. And at our lowest, He's there. At our highest, He's there. But we have to remember that. Especially when we're at our highest, we need to know Him and remember Him and acknowledge Him. And when we're at our lowest, we need to know Him acknowledge Him and remember Him, He will always send help once we cry out to Him. He has His angels ready, waiting for us when we are in danger. And even before the danger comes, He has dispatched His angels to guard us. So I don't know who is going through a tough time right now, and you're probably in a rut, and you're probably wondering, is it worth going on? Is this life worth living? I'm here to tell you, you have a purpose. God has not left your side. He's there. He wants to commune with you. He wants to speak to your heart, to comfort you. You just have to allow Him to do His part. We have to open up. We have to receive Him, because He's always there for us. He is that friend who will never leave us. Your other little friends will leave you, but my God, your God, will never leave you nor forsake you. So I hope that you've been strengthened for the day and encouraged for the day. As always, thanks for the encouraging words. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel and commenting and liking and sharing. I do see the sharing going on. I do see it. Thank you so much. And just continue to be on this journey with me. We're not perfect, and God is not asking us to be perfect. But I always say this, I believe that God acknowledges effort. And if you make an effort for God, He's making a note of it, and He will strengthen you. He'll strengthen me as we go on this journey of life. It's not going to be linear. It's going to have its rough patches here and there, but we just have to keep on holding on. Okay? Promise? Promise. See you tomorrow.